fix this.
Just a moment. We have technical difficulties, but we'll be fine. This moment.
Here we are.
There we go.
We're all good. How's it going, everybody? We are on early. We're just making sure everything's working.
Yeah, so if you can hit us up. Oh, Devon's on.
All right.
Hi, Devon.
Hi, Devon.
How are you doing? Now, you can find Devon in the Mondays with Monk.
Monday. Yes.
Every Monday. Or you can just find it whenever you're interested. She talks about her writing and knitting and
just how our day's going. And we had her on our show last time. Our last show was the interview.
We had showed.
And I think she had fun, so.
Yeah, so if you want to check it out, that'd be great.
So anyhow, we're gonna just give a few minutes for everybody to join. We got on early on purpose. We just want to make sure everything was up and up working. It seems like it is. You guys able to hear us all good?
Yeah, I think we're good to go.
All right. So, well, we don't want to start earlier than what we said for people logging on. So I want to give it just a few minutes.
So
let's give it a couple minutes here. Where are we at? Okay. Maybe a couple more minutes. Closer to our time. So what's Devon say?
Just saying thanks for the shout out.
Yeah, no problem. We had fun.
She said it looks good and sounds good.
Awesome.
So I think we're good to go. And we'll be starting real soon.
Well, first I guess we could just talk about our day. I mean, how what's been
going on
up to? Yeah, summer's been busy for me. Yeah, I know that.
Summer's been really busy for me, and right now I'm just, school started, so get the kids and everything, get everything back to the grind.
Yeah, I can't say I missed that. My kids are out of school, and I'm good with that.
Yeah, I would be too.
I know. I'm not being mean, but I am glad my kids are out of school because, especially during COVID, what a mess that was.
Oh, I know. It was a mess. For sure.
All right. Well, I know one thing. There's just a couple things. I took a couple trips, and one of the trips we took together during the summer. I know that. But I think that the one we will probably want to start off talking about first is the trip me and you took with our wives down to Roseburg.
Yep.
And we were going down there to hike trails, see waterfalls, and we also decided to visit a couple places down there. One of them was Wolk Creek Lodge.
Yes.
And so what was your feeling on it?
It was really cool. It's what, 1890?
Yeah.
It was like built and stuff.
Yeah.
So
not yesterday.
Not yesterday. So we went through and we got a tour.
Yeah. It was hot.
It was hot.
And when we went there, because it was in the very end of July, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Right into August.
Yeah.
And we went there, and right off the bat, we were met with a tour guide, which was amazing. And he was really good.
Yeah, and he was all gung-ho about showing us, and he was really open to our questions about paranormal stuff,
right,
and this and that.
Even though they're leaning more toward the history of the building,
yes,
less about that. But that's always going to be a part of the building because it's part of its history is the paranormal part.
So, yeah, it was really nice. It's a small place.
Although you could rent out the whole thing for like weddings or big events. It is really nice. It actually is like their halls that you could gather in. That was really nice. And then we also had to drink in their like little restaurant down there. That was kind of cool. So
and they have a lot of the old furniture and all the
original.
Mm-hmm. Yes, so that was nice.
Yeah, and just to compare it, I stayed at the Gold Hill in Nevada, and the Gold Hill there that was at Virginia City. It was older, like the floors were all shifted and all that. This wasn't like that. It was really nice, actually. It was old, but it was really nice. It was a lot better than I would say the Gold Hills edition is.
It's owned by the state now, so they have refurbished it and whatnot. But the tour guide did tell us about the place.
Yeah, he told us about another place that I had no idea. There's a ghost town, literally just like 5 miles from there, maybe 10 miles at the most. I don't remember. It's called Golden. It's in Ghost Town Golden, and they also they help keep that up as well. And there's some buildings there that you can go up and visit. So after we were done with Wolk Creek Lodge, we went up there.
Yeah, and so we drove up there. It wasn't that far away.
Nobody was.
And up in the hills, and we stumbled upon a old schoolhouse, a old storage building.
Yeah.
There were 3 buildings.
A church.
And an old church and a graveyard.
And a graveyard. Yeah, right there next to the church, there's a graveyard. So the girls they went off and went into the schoolhouse, and me and Darren, we went into the church. And I didn't get a lot. It felt old, and it felt like there was a lot of history with it. I didn't feel anything until I went to the schoolhouse. That was the one I got the most feeling from, which was really interesting, was the schoolhouse.
Yeah, schoolhouse was little, just creepy walking in and stuff.
It didn't help. Right when you walk in, right there, the first desk, they have some old dolls sitting in there. Yeah. And right off the bed, you're like, oh, creepy old dolls.
But it was cool because they had on the chalkboard, they had the old sayings from the teacher and stuff.
What they would have them do and what they were working on and what all that.
And that's felt cool. Yeah. So why don't you go into the history a little bit of that ghost town?
Well, without pulling it up, I mean, I put the link and you guys can go to it. I don't have it open so I don't know the exact history, but I know that, I mean, literally there's only 4 buildings that are left there. From however big it was, but it was never very big to begin with.
Some of the history was that Japanese immigrants found it, and they found that there were a lot of gold, off the lake and stuff like that, off the creek, the river.
And so I know what happened is and then when the people that were there that found out about it, they went and they took it from them.
They took it from them because, I mean, that's what money, and that's what we do.
That's what we did back in the day, and maybe still do today. But yeah, they took it from them, and then they actually never did hit it big in that gold. They found there wasn't the gold there they thought there was going to be there. It was just very minimal. Nobody ever got rich off of it. So in a way, it was like, oops.
Yeah.
Oops for you.
It's a good thing.
So, it sits on one side of the road, and on the other side there's the river and everything. So it was neat. It was cool. It was interesting. It was like cool. Stepping back in time. So it was kind of cool. Yeah, it wasn't real big. It's worth going and seeing. I mean, if you like ghost towns, it's a good one to go see.
So guys, this is number 4 of our journey. And so if you guys like what we talked about, make sure and hit that thumbs up. It helps us. Or subscribe if you guys are interested, and find us whenever you guys have time.
All right, so I'm going to talk about one thing. So we weren't able to talk about all the things from the trip I took in July, where I went down into Arizona and Nevada, Arizona, and all that kind of stuff. One thing that I didn't talk about was when we were coming back up in Nevada, we had been told on our very first show about a place called the Temple of the Goddess.
Yes.
And we stopped there, and it was interesting. Literally, if I didn't know to look for it, I would have drove right by it. You don't notice it. You would never take that road. You would never know to turn there. It's really weird. It's just right all of a sudden there on your way out of Vegas. And so we went in there, and that was super hot. and it is it's got a really cool energy to it. And it did focus a lot around the Egyptian goddess, and that's all in there, and the female power and all that was really geared to that. But it's not only that. People go in there and they make their own shrines and their own offerings, and they're all over the places. And there's like PowerPoints and things with rocks and stuff. So it was really a good energy place to go. It's literally it feels like you're in the middle of nowhere, even though it's like right side of the road. But even it's in Nevada. So once you leave Vegas, there isn't anything.
Do you know why they just happened to build this in the middle of nowhere?
I don't know why, but it lied in between a lot of negative things in the area.
Okay.
Where you had Vegas, you had the military base, you had the test site, all that. And so this is lined, there's prisons not too far from there. So they put this in like a place where it just seems like there's a lot of negativity, and they put this cool place there. And so I thought it was cool.
Get the positive vibe going.
Yeah, I think it's neat. I think if somebody's down there and they like to visit good energy places and they're open-minded to stuff like that, I'd say stop by.
And it's open for
anyone. Oh yeah, you just go by in. Yeah.
Okay.
Now, it is in particular no alcohol, no drugs, no weapons, no none of that. I mean, it strictly says it. Sometimes they have events there, so I don't know when those would be going and when they would be having big events there. But there was nothing there when we went.
No, that's really cool.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, so I thought that was really interesting, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, so the next thing I want to talk about is we have been getting some cool stuff here in Oregon. We've been trying to get stuff together about where we're going to go, where we're going to investigate, things we want to look into, and what seems to be coming into our lap by not only family members, but also coworkers. So that it's all this Bigfoot stuff.
I know, and it's very interesting.
Yeah. Because I lean more paranormal and you lean more UFO, which we kind of go together, and we're kind of both in the other side. And Bigfoot and cryptids are right there, but it's like I really haven't ever really looked for that.
Yeah, and it's interesting because they kind of go hand in hand.
They do.
It seems like
they do, and so we have got a lot of leads in. I can tell you an area. It's in the Sweet Home area, but it's not like around Sweet Home, but it's up in that area. All of these leads are just this general area that we really are going to start getting stuff together and checking into next year for sure.
So, I mean, I can start with the...
We'll start with the coworker.
Okay, so I have a coworker, and I just overheard her talking about Expedition Bigfoot, which is a really good scientific Bigfoot series to watch on Travel Channel. If you're interested, the link's down below. But anyway, so she goes hunting with her husband, and so they were up in that area, Sweet Home area and stuff, and they stumbled upon some structures, and so they took pictures and whatnot and stuff, and there was a grave up there, and so we're looking into that and stuff. The structure is interesting, and we might go and visit.
Yeah, we might go check that out
sometime, but that's for future episodes. So stick with us.
Right. And then our family members were up there in the area camping, and they ended up meeting a forestry person that gave them that he had talked to some people, 2 different people that didn't know each other, that talked about family of Bigfoot that they had seen up there. So it's just interesting that came about too. And it's kind of all in the general same area. So I was already looking up in that area, but it kind of pinpointed a better area for us to look into.
Absolutely.
So next year, we're going to get all our, dot all our I's and cross all our T's and get everything ready. We're going to see what we can find out in that area.
Exactly. So please stick with us. We have some exciting things coming down the pike. And that's one of them.
Then the other one, let's talk about it. let's talk about Chris.
Okay, so my son, he went down to Wisconsin uh, to visit family members, his wife's family members and stuff. And so they went to Lambeau Field because he's a Green Bay fan. So they were driving back around. Well, I'll just have my brother here read what he sent us and stuff. So it's kind of interesting.
Does your phone flip?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, there you go. Let's get this down here. Let's see. So it says, driving southbound on I-43 from Green Bay, Wisconsin to Milwaukee, Wisconsin around 10:30 p.m. My wife and I were having a discussion about our day while she was scrolling through her social media on her phone. There was very few vehicles on the road at this time, and the highway is not well lit at all. Needless to say, the view of the stars was exceptional, and the weather was relatively clear at that time. At the time, I stopped mid-conversation and stated, "Oh my God, babe," when I saw a large bright light fly over head north to south and the horizon to the ground. If let's see, I think it means it was moving fast and took an abrupt vertical trajectory, seemingly impossible for any aircraft that I know of. And he was in the military.
He was
so
in the
he knows a little
military.
bit about that.
Yeah.
There was no definite shape to it, just a orb of light, approximately the size of a minivan. It looked to me to be 1,000 feet in the air above the highway. The orb disappeared from view. My wife did not see it as she was looking at her phone at the time. The whole event took possibly 5 seconds. It was enough for me to tap the brakes, and afterwards I definitely noticed a spike in my adrenaline level. For the rest of the trip, we discussed possibilities of what it could have been, but none seemed to fit the flight pattern.
So anyway, so when he called me and told me this, he said that it came from behind his car and it went over the top and then it shot straight up. And so what's interesting is they get to the relative's house and they're talking about it,
right?
And the mom or the relative, she goes, "Oh yeah, I've seen that on that highway before," and so there's something going on. Now there is a reserve military base around there, and so we're thinking of looking into it a little more. And see if we can get any more reports.
It doesn't sound like anything our military would have.
No.
I mean, I don't.
Nothing
we have can do that.
But it's good to investigate, check that out, because if it was.
Well, one thing I'm going to look at is all the sightings on I-43. I want to see in the Wisconsin area, because that's not my expertise in that area. So we'll definitely look into it.
That's why it's really important, guys. If you see something, report it, or at least
because I don't think they reported it except to us. And that's where we have so many that we know about that's reported, but think of all the ones that just go unreported. It's got to be a lot. It's got to be a lot.
Absolutely.
I mean, we didn't even report ours, remember? Because back in the day, we didn't know where to go.
Exactly. It was in 94?
No.
Oh, 96?
Yeah.
96?
Yeah.
And we didn't have cell phones back then. And I mean, we kind of knew about Peter Davenport.
Yeah, we knew a little bit, but we didn't think, and we didn't realize the importance of reporting it, right?
Yes.
It was like, oh, cool, we have this experience, but it wasn't like, I wanted to see if anybody else had the experience, but it never crossed my mind to like, hey, I should report this somewhere.
Well, and mostly nowadays, with it being more open, and everything, it's really important
Yeah.
because the only way that we are going to understand what's going on is more data.
It is. That is correct.
And eyewitnesses are very important, I think.
No, I agree.
For
Yeah,
data
for sure.
wise and stuff. So I mean, we have some stuff coming down the pipe,
Yeah.
and some things we're looking into, and it's exciting.
It is.
For sure.
It is, and definitely. And now, the other thing is if you guys have been following our Facebook page, just things that are happening with their space and the UFOs and all that. It's interesting.
The James Webb Telescope
it's been catching cool stuff.
Amazing stuff. And so look into that. We try to data dump as much as we can on our page about James Webb, but do your own research. It's cool.
It's cool.
Really cool.
And I like that I've been reading a lot of articles about that where it's actually changing what scientists thought was out there. Just the pictures. It's just amazing.
They are starting to find out that they think the universe is way older than the 13.1 billion years, whatever. Because they can look like thousands of years. But so it's so amazing. And they're going to be looking at soon the trapezoid system.
Right.
Which has a red dwarf, which has 7 planets around it. But they're looking at the first 4 planets.
It might have some kind of life.
Might have some kind of life and stuff.
Life.
Yeah. And so I'm telling you, it's super exciting.
Right. We're also excited. Maybe Artemis will launch one of these days.
Maybe.
If they can figure out. I saw a funny thing where, they're always having the fuel leak. That's why they're always stopping. Somebody's like sent, they need Flex Seal,
No,
I know. It's like, we can't stop a fuel leak from a friggin' rocket.
Can we just duct tape it?
I know.
Duct tape looks on everything.
Yeah. Yep. So anyhow, no, I think there's some really cool stuff coming in with that. There's cool stuff on Mars that we've been getting from from both of them. Yeah.
I mean, guys, we have the helicopter
on Mars, which is
that
cool.
flies around. So I mean, it's really cool stuff for you guys if you're interested. Just look out.
Well, and not only that, I've been finding some old stuff where like I put on where you can hear a UFO that a police recorded from 1981 that was up here in Oregon in the Columbia Gorge around St. Helens. So that was really interesting. And what's interesting about that is the experience me and you had. We couldn't hear it, but we were on I-5 in a car.
Yeah.
So we were making noise, and and so and the wind's rushing by. So there could have been noise to it.
I know
we wouldn't have known. Yeah, we don't know. But I mean, to us, I didn't hear anything over our car.
No, it was dead silent.
Yeah, as far as I could tell, just the vehicle is all I could hear. Yeah. I mean, but it may have had a sound because the sound that they reported sounded like an engine. It sounded like a revving up engine, kind of, and you can hear the recording. So that was interesting.
It did. It's very interesting.
Did we get something?
Gibbons just. Oh wait, that was really cool. The story of your son.
Oh yeah.
I want to say UFO someday.
Yeah.
Just keep looking up. Look out. Night mostly.
Yeah.
Nighttime.
Yeah.
Just.
How did you like that footage of that one? That where it tracks that one in the sky and it jumps and then tracks. It's like night vision. Have you seen that one I posted?
Which one is that? Oh, that you posted.
Yeah, no, it goes across the sky and it jumps. It's really cool. Yeah, I'll have to show you afterwards. I found it. It was on. I may have got it from our Oregon MUFON page, which I'm part of, and so I think that was one that was reported then. And it definitely that is moving like kind of like what Chris said. It's moving away. There's no way. There is no. It makes weird jumps. There's just no way.
Well, let's see what's going on. The place UFO were quoting sounded like the UFO was oscillating, which
Yeah.
I thought was interesting. And
It
I
did,
totally
yeah,
agree
I
with
agree.
that.
It did.
And that's not the first time that witnesses have heard noises like that
No.
and stuff. And so, I mean, you dive into the Phoenix Lights, there's thousands of people who saw that. And so, yeah, it's all very interesting, and it's just stuff we're going to dive into and let them.
Yeah. So on the horizon, we've got, we're really going to look into the Bigfoot thing.
Yes.
We're going to look into the UFO reports that we've had in the area, as well as the one, of course, we know of.
Yeah, we're trying to get more into the community and stuff, and because there's a lot of things that happen just here in Oregon.
And we would have got into the community. COVID kind of put us in a whole different area, but now that it's not over, but we are dealing with it better. We're definitely going to try to get out there more in the community and start seeing what we can.
Yeah, so please stick with us if you guys are interested whatsoever.
Yeah. So also there's been some really cool shows that have come out lately. One movie in general that I was looking forward to that I really liked. I don't think you've seen it yet, but it's Nope by Jordan Peele.
I have not seen the movie yet. I want to.
I like it a lot because it's like most of stuff. It's not like what you think it is. You think alien, UFO coming down, terrorizing people or attacking. It's not what it is. It ended up being something totally different. And it was very suspenseful. It's kind of graphic. It has a lot more graphic without showing anything. Really interesting. It's you won't know what
attention based.
Kinda, but it's also animal based. So if you're an animal lover, it's a little tough in areas, even though it's really not.
Does it dive into animal mutilations?
A little bit, yeah.
Okay,
a little bit, but no. So anyhow, it's worth seeing for sure. That one was worth seeing. What's that?
Oh, yeah, it's a new. I haven't seen them. Well, welcome, Cosmic Wolf 420. Welcome.
Yeah,
I haven't seen you before, so thanks for finding us, and keep with us because we're going to be doing some stuff down the line.
Yeah. Another show was that came out for Hulu was Prey, which is a Predator prequel, right? It's before Predator.
Yeah, no, I haven't seen it.
Yeah, it was good too. And I don't want to give any of these away. So and I don't want to spoil it for anybody who hasn't seen it. I'm just gonna say that it's good. So you got the original one, and this is everybody as good as the original one, if not better.
Oh wow.
And I will suggest that you watch, because I didn't know and I missed it the first time, and then I saw people talking about it and I had to go back. Watch all of the credits. Yeah, they're like hand-drawn credits, but watch it. You'll want to do that. But no, it's well worth seeing.
And all these trailers are just down below, so you can look. Oh, it's Jaden.
Oh, gotcha.
Oh, welcome, Jaden.
Gotcha.
Hey, how are you doing?
Awesome, dude. Okay, so anyhow, also, so Prey was worth it, and also we saw a series that I was watching that I really liked, and I didn't like the original, but I really liked this series. Was the Showtime series, The Man Who Fell to Earth, and they nailed it. It's acted well, the story's good, it totally moves you emotionally. I mean, it's one of the most complete series I've seen in a while, and it was great.
I'm like halfway through it. I haven't watched it all, but I mean, it's really good. The main actor
is amazing.
It's amazing.
Well, there isn't anybody that isn't that. I thought they nailed the characters, and that's hard to do across the board. And I thought they did that with very few weak characters.
That's awesome, man. You can find that trailer too.
Yeah, and that is on Showtime. That's on Showtime, and I think you can see it on Amazon too. I think Showtime and Amazon, you can get the menu film.
Yeah, Amazon is
they have everything
with everyone.
I'm pretty sure you can see everything on Amazon. Yeah. Okay, so here comes, we're going to go a little different way. Another series that you told me about to get on board. I'd seen it and I didn't want to get into it, and I did. It was a Alaskan Killer Bigfoot, and I have to say I did not like this series. But that being said, I love the story of it.
Yeah.
And the history behind it.
Yes.
I just thought that it was done extremely bad.
This is what's annoying about these kind of documentaries and series and stuff like that, is you have a good story, you have history behind it.
Proof, right.
History, but then the production team has to make an entertainment. So by doing that, it muddles the waters.
Right. So what it felt to me is they wanted it to be exactly like Skinwalker Ranch.
Yeah.
And so they tried to make it like Skinwalker Ranch. But the things they took from that is what I don't like about Skinwalker Ranch. And I love Skinwalker Ranch. I love all the stuff about that. But the entertainment value. So I just thought it was funny. I don't. It was sad.
Oh, Devon said the man who fell from Earth was amazing.
Yeah. Yes. It really is. But Alaska Killer Bigfoot. If you just instead of maybe if you get on there and you find the town, I can't remember the town, or the island or whatever it is.
It was.
I can't remember.
It started with P. It was Portlock.
Pull up the history.
Alaska.
Yeah, pull up Alaska Portlock history. Yeah. It is very interesting and very creepy. The show. It's up to you whether you want to watch it. I did.
The history is very fascinating, and the people who are from the tribe, who grew up with all this legend and lore and everything, they are interesting. It's just the production.
It is.
What they did with the show is
it's
just
horrible.
Nauseating.
It is.
And there's absolutely no reason
there wasn't.
To do that.
You didn't need to do it.
I understand why they do that for entertainment.
And the other thing, they need to quit narrating things. We know what's going on. They narrate things to death, and I hate it.
Well, and what's annoying is it's like you just need the eyewitnesses and the people involved narrating it.
Exactly.
Just follow their story. You don't need some stupid person talking about, it's a killer Bigfoot and crap.
So so anyhow, there was.
So anyway, check it out though.
Yeah. So that's the one I did. Okay, so here on the other side, a different Bigfoot one, which we've already talked about, Expedition Bigfoot. Now that one is done right. The show's interesting. Yeah. It's filmed right, and the cool thing about it is next season, which is season 4 is in Alaska.
It's in Alaska. So this I highly like this series because it's scientifically based. It's yes, they have one of the members is deep in Bigfoot lore, but he sides more towards the UFO, the paranormal aspect of it.
Right.
You have a major tracker who has tracked his whole life.
Survivalist kind of guy.
Survivalist. And then you have the protege of Jane Goodall.
About primates.
About primates.
Yeah,
so
which is
very
awesome.
scientific driven and stuff. So where it is leading them, because they're finding migration, so they're following it, and it's going up to Alaska. So it's very interesting. Check that out. It's on Discovery Channel. I think it's down below in the.
I actually don't think I linked it because the series I should have. I might have. I don't remember.
We did in one.
Yeah, if I did in one of our shows, you'll see it. If I forgot it, I didn't mean to. But my thing is season 3's over and season 4's coming out next year sometime.
Yeah, it's like March of next year or something. They're filming it right now. Check that one out.
Actually, the season 3 finale, it had probably one of the best Bigfoot caught on cameras that I've ever seen.
Absolutely.
So it is really cool. Besides the original one that everybody's seen. But other than that, besides that one. So
absolutely.
It's definitely worth seeing. So awesome. Okay. So now I want to lead into documentaries.
Okay.
Ones we've seen.
That's good.
Tubi had one, which is really interesting that they had their own documentary, but it was called Alien Abductions, UFOs, Roswell at 75. So
it's been 75 years.
Yeah, 75 years since the Roswell,
which was in 47.
And I thought it was with people that I didn't know a lot about. I didn't know a lot of those people. Usually shows have a lot of people I know. I know a couple people that were in there, but the other ones I didn't know. But I thought they did a good job, even at that, about laying pretty much what I already knew about Roswell. But it was a very good one for one to watch to remind them about it. And it's definitely, I thought they did a good job.
And one thing I liked about the documentary is that it wasn't just about Roswell.
Correct.
It was showing you a timeline of UFO and government connections since Roswell.
Right, because that's what it is.
Up to now.
75 years.
Yeah,
the 75 years of it. And I thought they did a good job with that.
No, so check it out.
Yeah. It's on Tubi.
Yeah,
which is free. There's commercials,
but
it's free.
It's commercials. It's good though.
Yeah, and then here's the one I love. The one I've seen recently that I just absolutely loved was called The Visitors, and it's with Whitley Strieber.
I did
which, too. It's the best one with Whitley Strieber. It just really is.
And it dives into his story. So if you're ever interested in Whitley Strieber, who wrote Communion, and he's been around since the 90s, and before that he was a writer,
science fiction writer,
sci-fi writer.
But this changed as he was abducted and that whole thing. My thing about it is we saw him just at the UFO festival this year, so we've talked about him before. Yeah. But I thought the show did really good about. He's got kind of a tragic history with everything, and I thought they did a good job with that, and really helped bring things also closure for him as well. I thought it was a really good series.
Well, and also what's interesting is if you're ever interested in reading Communion stuff, he came out with the revised version and he reads it on audiobook.
That's
and
awesome.
It has a little more information.
That would be interesting because he's really good. He has his show Dreamland, and I watch that here and there. And I like the way he talks. So it'd be cool to hear him read the actual book he wrote.
Yeah, and Dreamland's been around since the 90s and stuff. And it's really interesting because he dives into the abduction phenomenon. And that's a lot of his guests. So that is a really good podcast. And it's a really good documentary. Where can you find it?
That one was on the Travel Channel.
Okay, so
that one's on the Travel Channel.
I think that link is down below.
Yeah, it is. I linked it.
It's a really good documentary, all about him.
Yeah.
So check that out.
So now they're just coming fast and furious. Now we have a couple more documentaries that I just found out about the other day. There's two of them.
Wow.
And one is called 411 Missing, the UFO Connection. Now, 411 Missing, this is the guy who I've talked about him before because we saw his other documentary.
His name is Dave Porlis
or something like that. Anyhow, I didn't have a chance to link this because, like I said, we just found this the other day and yesterday, matter of fact. And so, but the first one, he goes around about all the people missing in national parks and all over the United States.
Dive into his background.
Oh yeah, he's an investigator, and he was a cop. He was an investigator, and he really comes at it as he crosses all his T's and dots all his I's. I mean, he wants to find out if this is a murder case, if this is or what, and only the ones that are really strange. he started to notice the amount he was running across was crazy. Is there a question?
Chris is on now.
Oh, cool.
And she said it was a good documentary. Probably the Streetbird one.
Oh, the Streetbird one. Yeah, the Streetbird one she watched with us. Okay. Yeah. But anyhow, he went and noticed the huge amount of people missing from national parks and stuff. Yeah. It's insane. And then he also started noticing that ones that were missing, timelines didn't match up, that they'd find parts of them years later, and parts where they searched, they'd go back later, and all of a sudden there'd be stuff there that they didn't see the first time. So there's all this weird stuff going on with it. And it never really said UFO, supernatural, or anything, but it was like implied, right? Well, this one looks like it goes more into the UFO connection with all
and he's been researching this since like the 90s and stuff.
Yeah.
And he has like 3 or 4 documentaries.
Yeah.
And all you have to type in is 411 and you'll come down with the documentaries. But this one looks really
good. The 411 missing that I saw, that one was good, but this one looks really even better. He does the thing I like about him is like I said, he really comes at it like you're watching a murder mystery show.
Exactly.
I mean, he's like trying to find all the different things and all the possibilities. He's interviewing everybody.
Well, that's his background.
Yeah, and he just does a phenomenal job of it.
Yes.
And so, that one I'm really looking forward to. I'm glad I found that.
So we'll give you overview once
it's out.
It comes
it's not out yet. And here's another one that's coming up. And I just found this one last night too. This one is called In Plain Sight, the Intelligence Community and UFO. And this one looks interesting.
And you found that just on YouTube, didn't you?
No, I did. I found it actually through the same spot I found the missing one. I found it at the same spot. And I don't know what channel these are on. I don't know when they're coming out. They didn't say either or, but they should be coming out soon. Usually they have them on there like a month or two before they actually come out. And this one looked really interesting because it dealt into how the intelligent community kept people quiet, threatened their family, and also how they thought there were hybrids and time travel and missing. So it's like dealing a whole nother part of it.
There's so many different aspects to this phenomenon and stuff. And I think it's all connected.
I think so too. So
in some way.
Very interested in this show as well. So both of those, once we find them, probably when our next show we'll maybe talk about.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right. And so speaking of that, this is our last show of the year. No particular reason. We've been doing good. We're stepping back to get everything aimed in the right direction.
Yeah, we assessed we're going to take the show a little differently and stuff. Yeah. There's some software and stuff we need to learn, and we to make the show even better
than what it is now.
And we're getting more contacts and stuff.
We want to have more guests on, and so we got to get all that
exactly. So we're going to take a few months, the rest of the year, just to.
We should be back in January sometime.
Yes, and we have a great show planned for January.
We're going to start working on that show now, so hopefully by then we have it really solidified.
And it's a great show, so please, hit the bell so you get notifications for when we get live. Please subscribe because I really like the direction this show is going to go.
Me too. And like I said, we've already before we started the show had looked into, caves, paranormal, all that, because we have a site paranormal that we've done. And I think that we're just going to try to bring it all together next year.
Exactly. So, like I said, we have a lot of things coming down the pipe for sure.
So is there
no, it's just Devon saying you'll miss us, but we'll be back.
Yeah, definitely.
We might, just for fun,
we might do something else.
Just to come on, just to say, hey, don't forget about us.
Right. Well,
you know.
and still follow our Facebook page. There'll be the dump there where we just put all the information.
Exactly.
We'll still continue with all of that. And if there is something super important, we will. We'll
Exactly,
launch a show
because the end of October we're supposed to get another Congress
update
where they come.
Yeah, but
like
if
we
it's
did last
but if
year.
it's like the last one, it's not worth having a show
No,
early.
it's not.
But if it's something groundbreaking, we will. We'll launch a show earlier.
If there's pressing news or there's supposed to be hearings that open hearings that are coming, I honestly don't think it'll be until beginning of next year.
Yeah.
But if something happens, we might just come on real quick and update you guys. Please, our Facebook page is open. We're going to data dump. Please email us.
Yeah, we got this email about what I read. That was on our email. So
exactly.
If you send any of your experiences or anything that you want us to look into, please do, because just like where we had family members and then he had a coworker and it happened to match up together, we want to know that, because that just helps pinpoint
exactly
things for us.
That just helps us. No, it won't be a new show. It'll still be called the same. Under the Oaken Moon. It's just the format might be
a little different. We might be using different software, but it will still be here. You'll be able to find it still on YouTube, and it should be similar. But if we have like a bunch of guests, it may be a little different. If we have
exactly. We're gonna get more guests and stuff, so it's not just talking. To make it a little more interesting and stuff. And please just keep up with our Facebook page, because there's a lot of cool stuff.
There is.
Even on our page, our Facebook page, you can find they are finding new stuff about archaeology.
Oh yeah, I mean that's been interesting
and
too.
Stuff. And so it's not just UFO and Bigfoot. And it's all science. It's all good stuff.
It is,
for sure. And so I want to thank you guys for who did show up. And you can find us any day. Not just when we're live. Just keep checking out what we're doing. Because things are coming down.
And like I said, we'll make sure we give plenty of time for you guys to find our show again when we get it up and going.
Exactly. We might do an update right before January.
I think so. We'll probably do an update, a little pitch of
just to show that we're coming again stuff. And our email so it's open, so hit us up if you guys want to and whatever.
All right. Well, is this good? I think this is good, guys.
I think it's a nice
Is there any last questions? If not, I think we'll be good.
Oh, thanks for the acronyms. That helps a lot.
Oh, yeah. We forgot to talk.
Let's talk about
that. Before we go, let's talk about the acronyms. We actually got acronyms. We've been trying to do this, and we finally did it. And so please look down below, talking. Just go through and start reading those acronyms, because that will help you understand when we say them. And they come up with new ones all the time. So we're probably going to do another list of acronyms probably next year.
And that's the acronyms about UFO, what that means. What UAP means, what ATM
NASA or whatever.
NASA, and move on what it all stands for. Just to help you guys out who aren't
following it like we are.
Who aren't geeks.
Well, and we only know because somebody said it and we're like, what the heck's that? And then they explain what it is. Exactly. Just like what we're doing. So
because there's a new office now. It's called IL. The acronym is IL, and I'm not quite sure what it stands for, but in the past 2 years, there's been like 3 different uh, 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 departments
Right.
in the military, and they keep coming up with new names
They
and
always have.
acronyms.
Yeah.
And so it's hard to
Keep track of it.
of everything. But
I think that's it now, and I think that was our final question.
I think that's good, and thank you so much for watching us.
Yes, we appreciate it.
Thank you for finding us. Spread the word. You know,
Please.
that's really the best thing. Spread the word, and we will see you in January.
Sounds good. All right, guys. See you.
So
Thank
much.
you.